During the 1970s, a dilapidated and crumbling horse stable remained an important relic from Raleigh, North Carolina's formative past. That wooden cabin was Isaac Hunter's Tavern, crowned with a tin roof. It miraculously had survived 2 centuries following its original construction in February 1769. Hunter had acquired large tracts of land north of Crabtree Creek, including a mill site from prior owner John Giles Thomas. He established his popular tavern, then called Bloomsbury, adjacent to the Cross Creek-Petersburg stage line. Besides sleeping accommodations and meals, Hunter's Tavern featured a specialty cocktail known locally as the Cherry Bounce. The drink was composed of fermented cherries that had mellowed into smooth brown liqueur. The intoxication factor weighed heavily into North Carolina politics. In 1788, legislators were deciding where to locate their state capital city. The location needed to be developed 10 miles from the Bloomsbury and its eminently popular Cherry Bounce drink. Hunter had envisioned selling his lands for the permanent state capital. Behind-the-scenes influencer and promoter Colonel Joel Lane swooped instead into the premier position. He invited the General Assembly Commission to his spacious plantation and successfully convinced them to purchase 1,000 acres from his holdings. Isaac Hunter's fortune steadily eroded afterwards, and he sold the tavern property to his son-in-law, William Camp. Hunter was steadily accumulating expenses and debts and would die destitute. In 1983, the Hilton Raleigh North Hills was constructed on the site, necessitating the building's permanent removal. The current North Carolina State Capitol building initially opened on June 1840. It has served as the office of the governor, the Supreme Court, and chambers of the General Assembly, along with other sanctioned state officials. In front of the building's south side wall facing Fayetteville Street, a traditional standing sculpture of George Washington is perched upon a pedestal, facing onlookers surrounded by fencing. He is clothed in his late 18th century military uniform and toting a sword in his right hand. Inside the building is another Washington sculpture. This version is a Roman general's attire, casting the man as a leader transcending the ages. The current executive mansion for North Carolina's governor is actually the 4th incarnation. The 3rd would be constructed at the end of Fayetteville Street and is currently the site of the Martin Mariette Performing Arts Center. It would be completed in 1816 and occupied by the Union General William Sherman at the conclusion of the Civil War. The 4th site would be built in 1891. The memory and humiliation of the reviled Union Army occupancy has long ago dissipated. Today the center features numerous performing acts and features an outdoor walkway composed of hundreds of polycarbonate tubes that are lit during the evening hours. The public art assemblage called Sonark was created by artist Brian Brush and installed during the summer of 2020.